So at the end of all of this, what happens is the working class and poor funding is cut for federal programs. And my mouse decided to die, so I can't open the article. But the Guardian, I think, is the only publication that I've seen describe the situation that was created by this debt ceiling deal accurately. And
Mhm.
they used a word that I've never seen used when talking about the economic situation of the working class and poor, that is ever expanding in this country, and that is the word austerity,
Uh,
Dr. Tauheed. And I think it's noteworthy that the Guardian publishes, not saying they're any better of an
mhm,
imperialist,
mhm,
publication than the New York Times is. But I think the Guardian is in a unique position to recognize austerity when they see it, since Margaret Thatcher and her
mhm,
austerity
mhm,
theme
mhm,
made the term a household word
mhm,
for working class and poor Britons. So
mhm.
now here we are with the Guardian calling the economic situation that was created with this debt ceiling deal in the United States austerity. Is that where we are?
It's on the road to austerity.
Mm.
It's on the road to those in control of the government, the donors, finance, not the politicians.
Hmm.
Those in control of the government saying the U.S. has so many bills, it needs to pay us first, therefore it has to spend less on other people, right? The modern austerity movement, I guess you'll call that, came through the EU
Hmm.
during the last decade. Particularly hit, well, a country that was particularly hard hit was Greece.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, You know, Greece went into a financial crisis because they had high levels of unemployment, didn't have tax revenue to spend and so forth. And Greece, like many countries, have debt that they owe to the World Bank. And the World Bank insisted that the Greeks pay the interest, at least the interest, if not the coming payments on the debt. The Greeks could not do it. The European Union Central Bank would not loan them the euros that they needed to pay. And so what the Greeks had to do was to begin to cut off social services, anything paid by to decrease social services to the poor, of course, and to also decrease any other kind of spending it had, so that it could make room to pay off the debt, right? And that wasn't enough. And so what the Greeks had to do was to begin to sell off their ancient antiquity sites
Wow.
you've got the Parthenon brought to you
Yeah.
by Morgan Stanley or something like that.
Oh my God. That is so obscene. That
Well,
is,
but it certainly happens here with all the arenas, right? Yeah,
it's,
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Not any less
those
obscene.
arenas started out as buildings built by taxpayers,
Right.
and then the benefit from that goes to companies that want to sponsor them, want to throw in a few dollars here and there afterwards to get their name on it. It becomes advertising.
Mhm.
All the tourism that would have gone to Greece to these various antiquities, that money would have been hoovered up by finance to pay off their debt. That's a way of getting out of let's say, that's a way of dealing with austerity, I suppose, if you have things to sell.
Mhm.
But of
Yeah.
course, that is the international neoliberal process of putting countries into debt. And then when they cannot pay, going back and say, you've got gold mines, you've got copper mines, you've got lithium, you've got
Mm. Mhm.
parthenones, you've got these
Mhm.
other things. You can't pay your debt, so you can pay those debts with those resources.
Mhm.
This is what the IMF and the World Bank on a regular basis. And they did that, like I said, to a country in Greece, in Europe, Greece, because they kind of think that the Greeks are a little too Mediterranean.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know,
was actually thinking, I was laughing because I was thinking of the IMF repo department.
mhm. Yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
'cause that's basically what it is. And
That's what
whatever
it
assets you have, they will come after, just like somebody coming to repo your car
is.
if
Exactly.
you do not pay. Didn't this happen under the Obama administration?
Oh yes, yeah,
Did
absolutely.
did Obama have a hand in this? I seem to
Well,
recall.
I don't know that Obama had directly had a hand in it, but the idea of austerity was something that I'll say infected the Obama administration,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But it
Hmm.
has infected pretty much every administration since the Clinton administration.
Mm.
We look back before Clinton to people like Nixon and so forth. They weren't interested in not spending money. Certainly, Reagan was not interested in not spending money. And then all of a sudden, we get the Democrat, Bill Clinton, and he balances the budget.
Right.
He goes into surplus,
Hmm.
actually, spending less than that was taken in the taxes, and the economy goes into a recession as a result of that.
Hmm.
Right? That
Hmm.
recession, it was first quarter 2020, 21. No, excuse me, I'm sorry, 2000.
I cannot remember the
2001,
year.
2001. I Man, it's a long time ago. 2001, right
Hmm.
when George Bush the second comes into office. The recession actually started before he came in office, so he could not have been responsible for that.
Hmm.
Bill Clinton was responsible for that recession because spending with the government pulling back money, spending less than it had spent before. That means there's less money circulating in the economy.
Right.
Less income means people begin to lose their jobs.
Right.
Now there's a connection to this wage or job requirement
Hmm.
in the debt ceiling agreement for food stamps,
Hmm.
and that is we are looking into moving into a recession. Uh, One, mainly because of the increased interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve.
Hmm.
And Jerome Powell has said he's going to keep increasing interest rates until the labor market changes. The beatings will stop until those we're beating no longer have work.
Right.
They don't come to work. We can't beat them. They stay at home. They're okay.